Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I have an interesting topic that I want to share with you all. Topic is how I would learn to code if I could start over again. Many other YouTubers have done this in their own ways, but I have my own take. Having worked in software field for 17 years and most of that in or 16 years in London, I have a few things to share with you all. This also includes stuff that is not directly related to coding. If you're someone who is learning to code or you're already on the path of learning to code, this video is for you. In this video, I'll be sharing mainly my regrets or more like lessons that I learned from my coding career for 17 years. So let's get started. So the first thing is not creating a blog while learning to code. When I was learning to code during my college days, there were a lot of people who are into blogging, but I never considered blogging as a way to express or document what I was learning while learning to code. I wish I had, because that could further, if I think about it, when I wanted to change my job after 4 years and staying in a company, and I wanted to switch into freelancing. And so if I were writing something on my blog, I could have easily showed that as a portfolio or use that to display my knowledge in a particular field. Also, having a blog is an amazing way to document what you're learning and also to assert what you learn. It will help you remember stuff. If you have a good audience, then it is a good way to keep you accountable and motivated. It doesn't really necessarily have to be a blog these days. You could start an Instagram channel or YouTube channel or your personal website or a GitHub pages thing. And the second thing is closely related. In addition to having a blog, I wish I had a freelancer portfolio. I started working right away in a 9 to 5 job after my degree. But whenever I wanted to switch careers or wanted to look into freelancing platforms, I think I do have a LinkedIn portfolio, but I think it is much more easier to get a freelancing contract with an actual portfolio. A lot of platforms don't allow LinkedIn portfolios to be posted on their messaging platform because it breaks their rules. And so having a good portfolio to look back at and also document and showcase your skills and have a little bit more of a more number of projects on there, um, various sizes, small to big, doesn't matter really, but showcasing different aspects of your programming skills in different projects is a good way to go about the portfolio. I wish I had done that. The third thing that I regret is that I stayed in my first company for too long. I've stayed there for 4 years. I started switching my job every year after that, and later I switched into contracting and freelancing. I noticed that a lot of my career progression came from quitting and the changing jobs, getting promoted. Because when I was staying in the same company, I didn't get any promotion. I didn't get any big pay rise or anything like that. It only happened whenever I changed my careers. And good thing about freelancing, I'm a contractor in the UK, is that you get to work on different contracts. It's up to you which one to choose, and also you get a lot more exposure to different technologies than staying in the same company. Skill wise, it is a bad idea to stay in a company for too long. And also, you get this tunnel vision of using technologies over and over again, the same technologies, and also have a false sense of superiority where you think that you know everything. But having had exposure to other various technologies in different companies, quite often times when I go to, not sure where these bugs are coming from, whenever I join a company where there are like permanent employees, I get quite amazed that by seeing that they think they know a lot about the technologies. They think they know more than they actually do. It's not to condescend, but it's an actual observation. They talk about irrelevant things. They are quite a bit of it be too much invested in a specific technology or be very eager to talk about that specific thing where they don't realize that the big picture is a business or how to get a problem solved rather than getting that pleasure with engaging in a certain technology and talking about big things. There is pleasure in talking about big things. It's a common thing that is observed among programmers. If I were to do it all over again, I wouldn't stay 4 years in my first company. I would just probably jump after to another role after maybe like a year or two max. A year is a good point, I guess. Most companies don't offer or reciprocate your loyalty to them. You're just a number or a resource in their book. No matter whatever they say to keep you in the firm, like, oh, you are my family. I've seen this trend lately for the last few years that employees considering and praising the companies as their family. I mean, come on, your employer is not your family. When the economy goes down, they will not hesitate to fire you. Moving on to the next one. The fourth thing that I learned is that it's not all about hard work. It's about how clever you can talk as well. If you're just coding and not interact with anyone else, or if you're not able to communicate your ideas and solutions effectively to other team members or to the upper management, then you don't bring as much value. You need to be able to explain technical concepts to people who don't have a technical background. So don't just focus on coding, but also on communication skills. How am I doing on time? And the fifth and most important lesson is that oftentimes people are afraid to speak up because they don't want to rock the boat. They don't want to displease their manager or or offer a different opinion. But having an individual strong opinion, but not in a way that to condescend others. I don't even want to say condescend because it will come across condescending anyway if you're not so good at communicating, but in a way that is flexible. You're not too set on your opinions, but back it up with evidence, your opinion, why you think something should not be done or should be done. Agreeing with everything your teammates say just because you need to be a team player will not work very well, because otherwise you don't have any innovative ideas. You need to have that discussion and disagree on things and think through stuff to create effective solutions. Contrary to the popular opinion, it will help you stand out and people take notice of you. The sixth lesson is that monetize your skills very early. If you get into full-time job, a 9 to 5 job, monetize your skills so early that even if you're out of a job, if you have a gap, if you happen to be in a gap, you can easily monetize, have already a way of income that is monetized. You can do it in so many different ways. You can create websites for small businesses. You can create WordPress plugins, create software tools, and market in a way that you can productize your services to a particular audience. Having a blog or an Instagram page or YouTube channel will help you in a big way. If you have an audience and if you talk about the things that you care about in the tech field, in the coding field, and you already have an audience if you want to sell a course or something to them later. It's not about selling the course from the beginning, but it's just about creating that trust. And some years down the line, it will benefit you. So have that monetized early, it will come in handy. The seventh and final lesson, wow, there are bugs. I wish I learned to talk to girls quite early because I was so socially inept. I wasn't inept. I wasn't inept. I could talk, but I couldn't talk in a romantic setting to girls. I wish I had relationships much earlier. In the beginning, when I entered into the software field, I'm grateful for it in a way also because I put all my focus in one area, and because of that I was able to make a lot of money by the age of like 22, 23. I didn't start a business or make money in a big way that way, but doing a normal 9 to 5 job, 22, 21, I was making good money in the UK. Yeah, but then I decided to go travel when I was about 26, 27, put my more focus into relationships. I'm still not so convinced about this, but I think there should be a balance. Not in a way to chase girls, but you should stay on your purpose, on what you want to do, because girls come and go. Talking to girls gave me later on a lot of confidence to do a lot of other things as well. So it has a cascading effect. I started travel vlogging, ended up in a sort of like a commune kind of living, tried a lot of different things, and it gave me a lot of opportunities. But in retrospect, I wouldn't do it again because I wasted a lot of years. I now think that I should have just worked, but you need the skills if you want to. It is transferable to other areas. And lastly, I remember that the main reason I got into coding, it was a pleasure for me. I liked coding. I enjoyed coding, but also it gave me some sort of recognition because I was the sort of like the guy who studies hard. Um, it got me a lot of attention when I was in college because I was the go-to guy for um, getting help for coding problems. So, and also it got me noticed and by the teachers and the professors, and they recommended me to different companies, and that's how I got my first job. And it helped in that way, but also I was using it as a means to escape from my own problems of not having a good social life or not having a good framework at home. In retrospect, I think that I should not have done that. It made me that I am today. I'm grateful for that, but it's just that be tough on yourself. You need to be tough as well. If you can be tough and know a valuable skill as coding, then that's invaluable, I guess, in terms of like whether you want to start a business or um, managing relationships within the company. I had to learn all of this much later on, like be tough in at workplace. Usually, software engineers tend to be timid at work. You'll have to negotiate and you'll have to navigate a lot of relationships at work, and you need to be tough when it is needed, and you need to be soft when that is warranted. Coding as a way of escape gives you a sort of like a backdoor to withdraw from social circles and the environment and to go into your own little cocoon. And there is pleasure in that, like being alone and enjoying something. And that is my final regret. I wish I had done it in a slightly different way because that would have saved me years. So these are the main lessons, not very directly related to coding, but a bit more like psychological view on when learning to code that will help you. Let me know in the comments what do you think about this, my life experiences, whether this will be helpful to you or not. If you like this video, be sure to check this one out. Probably you'll like that too. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.